This is a video to help with assignment 10 that has you looking at wall sections. To begin with, you will need to look at sheet number 4, which is the floor plan of the Wendy's restaurant. So by looking at this portion of sheet number 4, look at this upper corner where you can see a corner of the exterior wall and also a symbol that represents a cutting plane. This cutting plane symbol is important. It identifies where a cutting plane passes through and slices through an exterior wall. The little black arrow indicates the direction that a viewer would be looking in order to see the wall as it's being cut. This cutting plane symbol shows a wall section on sheet 7B, and this particular section at this wall is section view letter E. Here I look on sheet 7B and I'm looking at section E. This wall section right here is the representation that we saw on that symbol back on sheet number 4. On this sheet, you will notice the very bottom of the wall, starting with the foundation and footing. This would be the footing. This is the foundation wall. Here starts the exterior wall construction all the way up to the roof. Therefore, all the information in this view indicates materials that are used for the wall from the footing all the way to the roof, dimensions, and any notes that pertain to different areas of this wall section. For example, the footing down here shows a concrete footing. It gives you dimensions for the footing and a little note that goes with the footing. Also, we have 3 blocks of concrete blocks represent the foundation, and then a smaller block on top for the foundation, and then we have a brick veneer covering, and then inside that covering we start the actual wall for the outside of the building. In this case, it would be a 2x6 framing stud wall with studs 16 inches on center. The little zigzag lines or the curly line that you see represent actual insulation batting. Well, the wall goes up so far, and then you start a window because our wall section cutting plane sliced right through the wall where there's a window. So actually you're cutting through a window and you're seeing a cut through the window, and then above the window the wall continues all the way up to the roof. Right here you will see lines that represent a ceiling tile that was cut through. And up top is the actual physical roof that was cut through. Notice above the window you've got something referred to as a header. This header is important because that supports the wall and the roof over top of a window. There's no weight-bearing capacity for a window, therefore it needs a stronger supporting beam, which is referred to as a header, that is always installed over doors and windows. To the side of this wall section, we see a representation of a fancy display called a fascia. The fascia, or sometimes pronounced fascia, is what you would see on Wendy's restaurants above windows. So, with the help of this explanation of this wall section, perhaps this will help you start working on assignment 10. If I go back to sheet number 4, you will notice that on sheet number 4 you've got other areas where you are using a cutting plane to slice through a wall. For example, on sheet 4, here is section F, which that view shows up on sheet 7B. Here you have a symbol for another cutting plane. This is section view B on sheet 7A. Here's another small wall, which is part of the freezer. You have a cutting plane cutting through that wall. That would give you a wall section, letter D on sheet 7A, and likewise. So, like I had said, perhaps this video will give you a little heads up start when you look at the questions for assignment number 10.